Thanksgiving week is upon us. The holidays are approaching, which means every game starts to pick up that much more importance. We had another great week of action and a busy one upcoming jammed around Turkey Day. I'm Chris Treft, and this is The U Show. Team USA and TDP U17s have been playing great lately, but had a big test as the Sioux City Musketeers visited USA Hockey Arena on Friday night. Ryan Taylor had little to no space from a bad angle, but somehow his wrister found the top shelf to give Sioux City the early lead just a minute and 47 into the contest. Team USA would tie the score when Jeremy Wilmer's shot, after a nice move on the D-man, trickled into the goal as Ethan Hyder got a piece of it, but not quite enough. The lone goal in the second period came off the stick of Jack Hughes. No, not that one, the younger, non-related version. It was a nice pivot and a snapshot that gave the U17s their first lead of the game. Musketeers forward Sam Stang took over the game as we shifted to the third. The Wisconsin commit scored on a point shot that found its way through traffic 23 seconds into the frame, and then followed it up with a nice breakaway goal at the 8:26 mark to retake the lead for the visitors. Not to be outdone, Jack Hughes scored his second of the game as well with under 3 minutes to go. The late game-tying goal sent the game to OT. The game went back and forth for nearly the entire OT before, with just 5 seconds to go, Chaz Lucius did the unthinkable.
Out in front, Lucius got the shot, scored! Lucius! USA wins it. What a play by Lucius. Back that replay up. I think he scored between his legs.
It was an amazing goal to say the least and gave USA their second straight OT win. The U17s would go on to win in overtime the following night against the Musketeers, as well as they continue to shine in the extra session this season. Winners of 3 straight going into the weekend, Fargo looked to advance their streak on the road versus Des Moines, who were winners of 3 of their last 4 games. Fargo got off to a strong start when Caden Bolson collected a pass in front of the net and outweighted the netminder with a nice move to score his 6th goal of the season. The game shifted to the second, where Logan Anderson netted the only goal of the middle frame. We went to the third with the score tied at 1 in a rather uneventful game to this point. The game would dramatically shift in the final stanza, however. The Bucks took advantage of a forced turnover to take the lead just over 2 minutes into the third. Des Moines increased their lead to 2 when Joey Strada threw a beautiful no-look spin-a-rimba pass to the back door, where Matt Chiopani slammed home his 6th of the year. A couple minutes after that, it was Bolson's turn once again as he scored another beauty to get the Force back to within striking distance. Shortly thereafter, the Force got the equalizer from Casey McDonald with under 7 minutes remaining in regulation. The Saskatchewan native received a pass in the slot and made no mistake with a one-timer that flew into the top shelf of the net. It was a hectic ending of the game, but neither team was able to score, and the game went to overtime with both teams earning a hard-earned point. Overtime was as back and forth as you can get, with both teams earning great chances but seeing the goalies come up big each and every time. After the 5 minutes of OT went scoreless, we moved to the shootout. Bolson, already with 2 goals on the night, both being scored with nice moves against the goalie, was the first shooter in the shootout and pulled a third excellent move out of his arsenal to give Fargo the early edge. After a nice save from Cole Brady, Tristan Brose was up next for the Force. The Minnesota commit slid the puck 5-hole to make the Fargo lead even bigger. Matt Chiopani got the call to save the game for the Bucks. It was a nice move from Chiopani, but Brady was up to the task as he made the save, took a bow, and won the game for the Force. Fargo would go on to win the next night and Lincoln as well, and is now touting a 5-game winning streak going into Thanksgiving week. Well, the standings are as mashed up as your potatoes are going to be this week. Chicago increased their winning streak to 7 games and now has a commanding lead for the most points in the league with 29. After that, in the East, it's still anyone's spot to take as it's all jammed up and more stuffed than your Thanksgiving turkey. In the West, the Blackhawks still patrol the top spot. Fargo and their nice win streak they have going has them in the 3 spot, and they still have games in hand on everyone in their conference. Much like the East, the middle of the pack is very clumped up. On Thanksgiving Eve, we bear witness to the 2 number 2 seeds in each conference going head-to-head in Des Moines. The 2 squads have had some epic battles this season against one another and are looking to jump into the top spot in their conference, so keep an eye on this game the night before Thanksgiving. On Saturday evening, Team USA and TDP U17s head up to Wisconsin for a date with the Gamblers. Green Bay heads into the week on a 5-game point streak, while the U17s seem to be involved in a thriller in every game they play lately. If I was a gambling man, I'd put my money on this one being a fun and entertaining matchup. This past week, the USHL launched the USHL Player Development Twitter page. The page is designed for USHL news in regards to current players, alumni, affiliates, and prospective players. The page, different from the more league news and highlighted-based USHL main page, will be a fun and fan-friendly delivery focusing on players from youth hockey all the way to alumni playing in the NHL. So if you haven't already, make sure to follow USHL Player Development on Twitter with the handle USHL_player_DEV. That's all I got for this week's episode. I want to wish everyone a wonderful and safe Thanksgiving. I will see you next week. I'm Chris Treff, and this was The U Show.